That's my village, Sardes, Lemnos. And right here is this wonderful steel bench someone has kindly positioned with a commanding view of the mountains towards the north of the island. This hill here called Vouni, and of course this hill behind me, Ximoni. I'm going for a walk up to the top of that hill, Vouni. Well, this is where the path begins. With the village now behind us. That's one of the many vineyards we're going to see along the way, growing the very famous Moscato grape, which produces the award-winning Moscato wine from right here in Lemnos. The temperature today is forecasted around 8, 9, perhaps 10 degrees C right now, but the wind, which you can probably hear, hopefully the quality of my audio isn't compromised, but the wind is probably dropping that temperature to a feel like 2, maybe 3 degrees C. And I forgot my gloves, so I'm feeling it. But it's just beautiful. Absolutely magnificent. Just me, the mountains, and a few kilometres of dirt road to cover. And you, of course. So we've come to a fork in the road. This way takes us up to Vouni. This way takes us into a valley that the locals call Charkopes. Now along the way we'll see the landscape dotted by these houses. They're called madres. A madra in Greek is the word for enclosure, and given that a lot of these establishments are specifically for livestock, when you have livestock you need an enclosure, you need a madra to hold them in, therefore the name. And they're everywhere, one there, and one in the distance down there that you might be able to see. But for now, we're taking the upward road. One of the other local products is thyme honey, and the hills are dotted with beehives that the local beekeepers attend to on a daily basis. If you haven't tried Lemnian thyme honey, you haven't tasted honey, real honey. I was wrong. I wasn't going to be alone with 3 or 4 kilometres of dirt road. I've got company, but they're too scared, they won't hang around. I guess I've just got to be a little quieter. I've caught up to them. They knew where they were going. It's the opening. They're probably going back for a feed. Little lambs in tow as well. This madre is abandoned. And madres like this, the abandoned ones, are usually the result of the mass migration that occurred in the 60s here, 50s and 60s, where the youth of the time migrated to countries like Australia, the United States, Germany even, and left the older generation behind to continue the business of livestock farming. But that generation slowly departed, and so too the madres were left to rot, unfortunately. So we're on the southern face of the hill Vouni right now, and there is absolutely no wind right now. It's a whisper. When we round that corner up there, further up, it'll blow hard, I think. The Serenity. I quote Daryl Kerrigan. For those of you that don't know who I'm talking about, it's an Australian movie. And the main character, Daryl Kerrigan, he talks about his hideaway, his little Ithaca he calls Bonnie Doon, and he talks about the serenity that he feels when he goes there. Well, this here is my Bonnie Doon. Okay, right. So we come to another livestock enclosure in the distance. I'm not sure how much of the wind you can hear. I've got my trusty windbreak on here, but down there is the village of Catalaco. Why is it called Catalaco? Lacos, hole, perhaps valley, village, kata, under or within a hole. The village of Catalaco. Let's undo this. As predicted, it's blowing a gale and it's near knocking me over. So we need to get to the top of that hill. Now I'm told there's a pathway somewhere here, but where? If I don't find it, I'll just keep headed to the village of Catalaco. Right there. Well, I'm not quite sure where this path to the top of Mt Vouni is, so I'm just going to hoof it along the fence line here, and eventually we should reach the top if the wind doesn't knock me over. Man, it is cold. A different sort of cold. I was in Germany a couple of weeks ago and it was -7. It's certainly not that temperature now, but the wind chill here absolutely cuts you in half. Here we go. The monopati, as it's called, the single pathway. Enough room for one person, if that. Oh, okay. Got to be careful here as the wind starts blowing. Whew. Look at these beautiful stone walls that were built to mark the various properties. As you can see, there is no shortage of rock around here, so why would you bother with steel fencing? Whew. Okay. Whew. Oh wow. Wow. Whew. I don't think I'm going to make it to the top. I didn't bring my scarf or gloves, and I think I might end up popsicle by the time I get there. We'll keep going. Whew. Yep, I'm on it. I found it. Keep following the monopati. And on occasion, admire the view behind us. Wow. We'll get there. Whew. Bit of a lull in the wind as well. Had to put the hoodie on. No scarf, no gloves. Whew. I don't think you'll see icicles forming off the goatee, but probably come close if the wind chill is any colder than what it is up there. Whew. Here's a view of Southwest, and the higher we get, the more spectacular the view. Have a look at this. Well, I've managed to stay on my feet up till now. If I take a tumble, well, you won't know about it because I'll probably edit it out, but maybe I'd leave it in there just for the laugh. Oh, okay. The closer we get to the top of the mountain, the more commanding the view of Sardes. And over the top, Katalako. I should take the windbreak off my microphone so you can really appreciate just how powerful this wind is. But there's the communication tower right there. That's what we can see from the village. We are, what, 100 meters away? This might class as having reached the peak because I can't climb over this fence. Nope.